So if we talk about the entire life cycle of a vehicle, the most knowledgeable stakeholder is the automobile manufacturer. Vehicle manufacturers play a key role as their decisions often directly affects the recyclability of the product, that is, through the choice of material, car design, fuel choice, and other aspects. Furthermore, they're often larger, better connected, and endowed with more resources and independent recycling facilities. Thus, they have a better advantage to operate ELV management in an effective manner. A car and the materials it is made of can be used to make new products, creating a closed looped economy or a circular economy. Apart from making financial savings, this also decreases resource dependence and, above all, reduces the impact the industry has on the environment. Extended producer responsibility makes the manufacturer responsible for the entire life cycle of the product. Our discussion with our panelists today will help us delve deeper into the concept of EPR in automobile industry. So, Mr. Sanjay, the
Yes.
Ministry of Road Transport and Highways recently came up with the latest vehicle scrap policy. Where the policy elaborately discusses about the scrapping facilities, it does not bring the automobile manufacturers in the purview of EPR. So, is it okay to think about recycling of ELVs without bringing the manufacturers into play?
No, no. You are right, Sujan, that EPR is not part of the policy draft what we have received, but surely government is very active and they will definitely taking more and more suggestions from the every important person in this industry. As of now, EPR is not part and parcel of the declared ELV recycling policy of the government. But the catch is how can automakers go scot free and become mere contributors to and mute spectators of the increasing vehicular and environment pollution and related social and economic degradation of India. Examples of automobile recycling policies prevailing in developed countries are also implemented here. They amply demonstrate the collective responsibilities of the automakers, dismantlers, repair shops, shredding facilities, recyclers, and steel producers as well. Not only it leads to improved product design and better manufacturing practices without much load on environment as well, while at the same time improving recycling rates and increased revenues to the government and other stakeholders alike. I should also say that incorporating EPR norms into ELV recycling in a way that suits our existing industry practices is a sure, short way for the dismantlers, repair shops, trading, automobile manufacturers, stakeholders, many stakeholders, including recyclers, steel makers, and the government as well, who all stand to benefit from the new revenue stream from an ELV recycling industry estimated to be worth of rupees 50 lakhs crore in the near future to come. I completely agree, Susan, that EPR has to be mandatory in long term for success of ELV projects in India. It has immense benefits to economy, like many new business opportunities will come up, generations of more employment, entry of new recyclers, new foreign investments will come. A way to go, make automobile manufacturing companies more responsible on EPR. That will also certainly improve automobile parts design as well, which are suitable to the recycling industry, and it has and it and going forward it has to be recyclable overall vehicle. I think so, Susan. I have clarified that government will definitely include our suggestions of EPR, and it has to be a part of the recycling policy.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sanjay, and we hope for the best in the coming future.
Yeah, yeah.
Ms. Shalini, when we talk about the plastic industry, we see that it has seen a strict implementation of EPR, and this has actually resulted in collection of several tons of plastic from everywhere. So, what could be the possible advantages of implementing EPR in the automobile sector?
Thank you, Susanna, for the question. First of all, I would like to check if my voice is clear to everyone. I'm not
It's
a technical
absolutely
person.
clear.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So EPR, yes, India introduced EPR in 2016 for plastics. The Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016 did include plastic, and Incidentally, this has not been included in the latest scrappage policy that was introduced by MOT, the draft policy which is there. But I think EPR role to play. The manufacturers are also supposed to be made responsible for the kind of resources that they are using, and the overall automobile industry should go more resource efficient. And I'm sure that EPR will play a very important role in making the industry resource efficient and circular. Another thing is, right now, when I went through the policy, I read the entire policy document, which talks elaborately about the setting up of the recycling centers, but does not mention or does not take a circular approach there. So yes, EPR definitely will put the financial onus on the manufacturers, but at the same time will also generate a lot of jobs and employment. New sectors will open up for recyclers to start. I was chatting with some people here today. We are already seeing some recycling startups coming up in India, which are working maybe at smaller scales, but I'm sure that they will tend to grow at a larger and a faster pace now that the government is thinking about recycling as well. I think another thing that I see is the tires, which actually has a lesser lifespan as compared to the entire vehicle. So the tires can definitely be brought under EPR, and India is a lot of tires are not environmentally handled at the end of life cycle in India. So perhaps we can have stricter dismantling policies which will allow environmentally friendly recycling of these materials. Again, one more thing that I see is the dismantling standards, which needs to be taken care of. And I think this is very important, and associations like MRAI could play a very important role there. Sanjay, I think it's very, very important that we set up stricter dismantling standards. Also,
Yes.
the policy also, Sanjay, talks about the uh, uh, 15 and 20 years for the residential and the commercial vehicles, and then some kind of checks at the end of lifespan. I think stringent checks at that moment are extremely important as well. Sorry, this is a little different from EPR, but I'm referring to the policy where certain checks by the government are very much essential to make this entire policy not just implemented and executed in the right direction, also looking at the emissions, also considering the environmental friendly dismantling of the end of life vehicles.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalini. And I very well caught your point where you said EPR will play an important role in making automobile industry resource efficient and successful. So that's a great talk, Shalini. Mr. Sanjay, coming back to you, with the rapidly increasing volume of vehicles in India, there's a parallel need for modern facilities for its reuse and recovery when the vehicle reaches its end of life. So what are the regulations in India which deal with the disposal of old vehicles which have no more utility?
Yeah, you are right, Susan, that even though there were many recommendations to the government for a policy for vehicles recycling at their end of useful life by leading industry experts, associations like MRAI and SIAM has also given, there was no regulations in existence nor any concrete of efforts from the government. The scenario changed recently when early this year, our minister, Sir Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Minister of Road Transport and Highways, announced compulsory dismantling of vehicles belonging to the Government of India that reach end of the road for their utility. I'm sure ELV recycling will be more beneficial and useful when we recover auto parts which are reusable. There were no particular guidelines of policies on this, but I'm sure our draft policy should have a provision for sale of reusable parts, which is available all around the world to make the overall ELV policy and business successful. I must highlight in this webinar, since the government is taking all efforts to make this more useful for the trade industry and recyclers, since they are really accepting best practices available around the world, which suits our Indian atmosphere as well. This draft and final ELV policy also is not the final one, and government will accept continued suggestions from all of us on day-to-day issues that may arise while we actually implement this policy. to make the ELV policy perfect one, commercially beneficial. Like while any new policy is being implemented, there are bound to be many teething problems, which is quite natural, and also in this ELV implementation as well. But I'm sure with the positive approach of the government for the benefits of the trade and industry, government will accept more and more suggestions going forward to the successful implementation of ELV recycling business in India, which will definitely boost economic growth by way of lowering scrap imports to India, saving huge foreign exchange, good employment generation in the ELV recycling sector, attract new foreign investments, make more productions of auto vehicles against the ELV of vehicles, and many opportunities in this field. Government will certainly accept more and more suggestions from everyone, and they are positive to roll out this policy efficiently, effectively, and better business for everyone.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sanjay. And we hope that we see a perfect policy
Yeah.
in the coming years. Yes. Ms. Shalini, you are also working with the government policy framework on dry waste. So what additional considerations can be undertaken to meet environment-friendly scrappage of ELVs?
Yeah, thank you, Susanna. That's a very important question, I believe. And what I keep saying, because I have been working in the sector of sustainability and circular economy, I keep, when I'm on the committees, I do refer to start thinking about bringing circularity in each and every sector. So I'll start with my first point, which is very dear to me, is bringing circularity in this sector. Thinking about making the entire sector more circular, in the sense that we should focus on the policy which currently focuses is on the emissions. So what they are saying is reducing the emissions. They are scrapping the vehicles for reduction of emissions, but also we should focus on the resource efficiency and talk about kind of generating the best out of the waste that has been created because of the dismantled vehicles. And we know how many discarded vehicles are there. A legacy discard is so huge that it can meet of a demand. That's one of the studies said so. So I think the quality that will be produced from the recycling is a very important consideration that the government should also talk about. Another area I think is the valuation of the cars at the end of life cycle. Is something which is still a gray area, and maybe thinking around that area will kind of make easy for the end customer finally to discard the vehicles. They have come up with 5% policy on the new 5% rebate on the new vehicles that you purchase. But if someone doesn't want to purchase a new vehicle and is discarding the old vehicle, what in that case, and what will be the value of the vehicle, is something which is a gray area and needs consideration. Then I would say, again, like I said, the stricter pollution checks for the end of life vehicle, because there is a provision of continuing if you pass the pollution checks. Then in that case, the pollution checks will be very, very strict, transparent, and should have the system should be in white and black, which is with the registered authorities. And I think the last point that I see is introducing technologies like blockchain to see how the scrap is moving from the place where it is discarded to the way it is recycled. I think it's time to start thinking about that right now, because the more the delay, I think we are going to waste on the opportunity cost, and that will be very heavy for India, a country like India where there are huge consumption of automobile, especially in the automobile sector. And we know that because of the pandemic, the sales, when we saw the papers, we know that the automobile industry was one industry which has actually been able to sustain the same number or maybe increase the number of sales. So that shows the importance of recycling as well. So going forward, I think introducing technology and transparency in the entire dismantling practices is very, very important.
Right. I think you're absolutely right, Shalini. And I think what you and Sanjay both agree on is the point that EPR must be mandatory for the success of ELV recycling. And though it's not a perfect policy right now, but then the government is taking suggestions, and I'm sure we'll come up with the perfect policy in the coming years.